everyone. Welcome to Gotham City tonight. I am your host, Ryan Doell, or one of the hosts. As you can see, we got a full trio with us. So first, let's welcome back Alice. Alice, how are things? How is everything?
It's good. I'm happy to be back after I think over a month haven't been back. So I'm here to bring the hot takes and bad opinions again to get people angry in the comments section. Hi.
Well, sounds like everyone's coming in hot tonight. We've got a Madam Web sympathizer. Someone already is ready to complain about the Marvels. And then, Alice, you just do your thing.
yeah. I'm here. I'm here to give the quips.
Yeah, it's going to be. And also with me as well, down below us here, Alex. How's everything?
Everything's great. Everything's real good. Happy Valentine's Day to you both.
Oh, yes. Happy Valentine's. Speaking of Valentine's Day, Mondo did a little bit of a post today.
Yeah. Got a little bit of a tease. We got what appears to be Rogue and Gambit in some sort of an embrace. And the announcement that if you're a Rogue fan, you might want to get ready for next Tuesday, 1 p.m. Eastern time. So all of you West Coasters will have to get up early, and just make sure that if you have been looking forward to our 1/6 scale Rogue figure, that you are paying attention to Mondo and all the details, and that you're ready for next Tuesday.
Yes. Yeah, I know. Dude, I'm so freaking stoked. I have been waiting for this figure since before you even announced it.
Nice. Yeah, no, Rogue is one of my favorite X-Men, and I loved working on it. And yeah, I'm super happy with the figure, and I can't wait for people to see it and get it. So
that is freaking sweet. That is freaking sweet. Guys, before we get started too, I want to show off a quick pickup. It is one of the weirdest comics I think I've ever bought. It is insane. It's weird. It's kind of anyways, this is it. This is Superman versus Meshi. And all it is, and Meshi is just straight up translation, food. And I am absolutely certain that this was all paid for by chains of restaurants in Japan.
That's sick.
And this is just adventures of Superman leaving work because he's hungry from the Daily Planet, flies to Japan for lunch where it's nighttime because it would be. And he's now obsessed with Japanese food, and he goes and he takes Batman with him for one of them. And there's at one point he names all the ingredients of tempura after the Justice League. It gets really weird. It doesn't really know, like, it pulls things from like the Snyderverse a little bit, but then it also pulls from the Donners, so the Christopher Reeve
in the Donner
Superman
party with all the food. He goes cannibal.
At one point his food gets cold, so he whips around the earth and turns back time so that his food is hot again.
That's awesome. James Gunn, I hope you're listening to this.
I hope he is too.
Forget All-Star Superman, forget Superman for All Seasons. This is the Superman book that we need.
It is. Like, look at this. That's him getting serious about noodles.
Wow, that's such a good manga Christopher Reeve.
It
looks equal parts Christopher Reeve and manga.
And just like in typical manga fashion, all the food looks incredible.
Yeah.
Hang on, I gotta show you the thing with the tempura. Spoiler alert. So
wow, Ryan, how could you spoil that for us?
So here he is, like, thinking about the tempura, and then like what ingredient is who, and at one point there is like, the prawn, and he doesn't know, would it be Wonder Woman or would it be Batman, who, by the way, drives the '89 Batmobile.
Sick. That's awesome.
He chooses Wonder Woman because it is soft and juicy.
Oh my god. Ryan,
is-
where did you find this book?
Wow.
It was at the comic shop. There's
It's
3 volumes of
amazing.
this. There's 3 volumes. It
Wait,
is so
what?
good.
And what's
Yes.
it called? Superman versus
Superman versus
food?
versus Meshi. Yes, food. That's all it is.
And
And
it's translated?
it is translated like they do the old Superman flying with Batman on his back. Oh, and get this.
Gotta have this book.
So this Superman also has a bit of a thing for Batman. Because
Canonically, this is true. Yes, we know.
right, and so the Dick Donner, Christopher Reeve Superman. Remember when Lois found out that Clark Kent was Superman? She kissed him, or he kissed her, and she forgot that Clark Kent was Superman. Well, Batman was like, "Hey, I wish I could taste this again for the first time and completely forget about this." And Superman goes in for the kiss, full on. And Batman's like, yo, no. It's a figure of speech, man.
Man.
Opportunity missed.
That
Clearly,
block.
this would be more popular if they had kissed. People would know.
Well, there's a volume 2, right? So
there's a volume 2
you're
and
right.
a volume 3. It could
Build up to
happen. I think here, there he is, like peeking at magazines. At one point too, it's sealed magazine.
because they're sealed.
He goes into a 7-Eleven and he compares it to going to an amusement park.
Is it a 7-Eleven in
That
Japan?
is correct.
But it is correct.
I will say. I'm from Taiwan. Our 7-Elevens are comparable to Japan's 7-Elevens. Best experience. I go every day. I just go and walk around. It's amazing.
I remember going to Japan as well and being like, this is not our 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
With like the 5-day hot dog rolling on the counter, right?
Yeah.
And he does he does other things too, which I thought was a really good attention to detail. He orders food like a guy, like gaijin, like people who can't
like a white foreigner.
He does. So here he points at the menu because he's not reading it. So that's because that's what I remember I was told to do when I was in Japan. Like if you can't read the menu, they always have photos.
Yeah.
So just point to what you want, and they'll just get it for you. And so that's exactly what Superman does when he orders. He just points on the menu, like, "Oh, I want this." It's so good.
This is the comic find of the year. I'm calling it now.
Truly.
Yes, this is so much fun. Okay, before we fully get started, I know I went on for that longer than I expected to.
I could go longer. We gotta do an episode. We gotta do a Cartoons Kayfabe episode devoted to this.
Oh my gosh! Wait, let's all get all 3 volumes,
Yeah.
and then we will read them, and then we will go through and we'll break down the importance of. Actually, now that I know that I'm going to Japan next year, I'm going to do the Superman Meshi tour and get a photo at all the restaurants.
Yes, that's great.
Cool. Yes.
That's what I'm going to do. All right, let's say hi to the chat. We've got Stanley Eberhard is here. Oh, dude, favorite YouTuber? You're not watching enough YouTube, Stanley. Dorlaxian, the only Deadpool. What? Deadpool 3 is the only Marvel movie you're going to see this year? Well, lucky for you, Kraven and Venom 3 are also coming out this year. Go see them all. Sony does good ones. Plus, if you're asking why is anyone making these, no one asks for them. You did ask for them. I want to point that out because without those getting made, Sony doesn't get to keep the license and you don't get another Spider-Verse movie. So you need those, right? Gatey's Toys, you mean you're not at Madam Web tonight? No, I'm trying to take Alice. Alice says, no.
I was insulted. He asked to go see Madam Web. Like, you're sure you want to go? Like, I feel like it's a waste of time. Is that
my God.
Take? I don't think so. I think that's the pop.
What? Okay, what if we got a Dune popcorn bucket? Would that make it better?
Somehow, yeah. Maybe that does make it better.
See, that's all we got to find out. That's it. That's all we got to do. All right. Honor You 83. Ooh, I said it out loud and now it all makes sense. Yeah, let's not get this. Didn't get a copyright strike. Got a copyright notice. So it even says like, oh, you didn't get a copyright strike for this. Just edit this out. You're fine. And I was like, really? Because I've seen people get copyright strikes for less. We were watching Tiny Toons last week, and Warner Brothers went,
Huge mistake.
just take it down. And maybe they saw the name of the show. Maybe Warner Brothers does watch us, and they're like, these guys are pretty nice. Let's cut them a break. Dorlaxian, Derek Hoover. Derek Hoover is here. Johnny Cog, I will see you on the weekend for Fan Expo. Alice, are we going to Fan Expo?
I tried, but none of my friends are going with me. So I was like, well, I'm not going. But if you are, maybe I'll see if a ticket's available.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it. We'll figure something out. Don't worry. Okay, we got Matt Bush is here. Stephen Lawrence, Jevons 24. Thank you for coming back. Tony Johnson, Cougar McGillicuddy, Kayla Silva, Jack Knight 73, Nolan. Yes, Gady's Toys again. Rabbit McGavin. I love that name. Sounds like a calico critter. I really like that.
Yeah.
Right? Tony Johnson, PD Dubs. Zach, make sure everyone go checks out Zach. What a Valentine's Day Massacre. I did not watch it. I actually worked until we started this. That's what ended up happening with me today. Charlie Squared, Tony Johnson. Okay, and I think that Frankie Rivera, Randall Guzik. You'd think I would get faster at this, but I'm totally not at all. Yeah, and Chad Stewart, all here. Thank you very, very much. Thank you for coming here, hanging out.
I just want to quickly highlight Matt Bush's comment here. It's a great point. Superman, it's not cannibalism because he's not technically human.
Oh.
So, the Superman Donner Party crossover we all want to see is fine.
It's fine.
Encouraged, in fact. I'd love to see that.
That's what we need. That's what I think at one point he takes Aquaman out for sushi.
Oh,
and
yeah.
He's just like, my friends.
Oh, yes.
This is what happened to you, Mr. Flipper.
Oh, no, it's like something else. He says, oh, this is imitation crab. And he's like, I can still hear it because it's part this and part this. It's like, what? So
it's like a bad Family Guy sketch.
It kind of is. But they play it straight. And that's what makes it.
And
really,
Superman
really
just keeps eye contact with Aquaman the whole time.
Yeah, kind of. This book, I'm going to tell you right now, this book gets weird. And I'm pretty sure that becomes pretty obvious from what I've explained so far. But it does. It gets weird. And it's wonderful. It is so. Oh, and him and Lex Luthor have dueling foodie Instagram accounts as well.
Ooh, as they should.
Yeah,
as they should.
So
it's great to see Instagram being used in comic books.
We're truly in the modern age.
I'm waiting for Lois Lane to start a TikTok, and then we'll know 100%.
I really like that comic book cover where Superman's eating all the hamburgers. You seen that one?
Oh, yes.
It's like, I have to eat all these hamburgers or the world will end.
That's
good times.
Good.
They don't make them like that anymore.
No, his carbon footprint must have been massive. That's insane. And then one other quick thing first off, does anyone else have any other pickups?
I got some quick ones. I got some comic books, some old school 90s comic books. Got this Robin sailing past a boulangerie in Paris, where he was in his miniseries, his debut miniseries. This awesome Sam Keith Batman cover, where you get the trademark phone cord Sam Keith tatters on the costume. There's curly fries. Look at that Joker! This is cool.
Yeah, Sam Keith is awesome.
Cool. Yeah. Also note that this antique store where these came from, they put the price stickers right on the cover and not on a plastic sleeve, thus ensuring that they're not even worth whatever the price is on.
Right.
I thought this cover was super cool. It's
that is
silhouette
cool.
Catwoman, really awesome.
Ooh, an Alan Grant Batman.
Yeah. Then this cover It's quite
Oh,
the twist on the old cliche. It's
Yeah.
young Bruce Wayne and his live parents standing over Batman's dead body.
that's
So
bold.
that's
Would make me
pretty
want to
great.
read it.
And
Yeah.
then for
I'd be like, what's happening?
Valentine's Day, this steamy cover, Batman
Ooh.
and Talia al Ghul making out as the world burns. Some men just want to watch the world burn.
For
Other men
Talia,
just want to
though?
get it on
Come
with Talia
on.
al Ghul.
Bruce, you could do so much better.
Well, don't
Hot
forget.
take. Hot take. As
here we
hot as
go.
this cover.
Yeah, here I am. Here's my hot take of the episode.
Talia al
Ghul,
Ghul, no good.
kind of overrated.
Alice, you? What do you got?
I picked up a bunch of stuff. I don't have it on hand, but I did pick up a gift for Ryan because I was back in Taiwan and they have, like Japan, they have like underground malls that are just like merch and figures and like all kinds of nerd stuff for like, probably not a kilometer, hundreds of meters of stores. Anyways, and I thought it was relevant. I was like, what do I get Ryan? Someone who has like everything, like I can't get a Batman figure. He's gonna have all the Batman figures I could possibly buy. So I was
Ryan
like,
right now is thinking of all the Batman figures he doesn't have.
Yeah.
maybe you should give me a list so that next time I'll be prepared.
All these hot toys. All these...
And then I was like, well, my hot take from last episode, in case anyone in viewing right now didn't know, was that I thought the 1998 Godzilla was my favorite Godzilla film, which apparently I learned that day was a hot take. And so as an apology,
Oh,
I got a figure for you. Wait, this reflection is so bad.
It looks just like
Go.
us.
Look at him.
That is super cute.
So cute.
That is super cute.
I was like, I'll spend
guy.
money as an apology. I'll put my money into the Godzilla, company so that they can go make more better Godzilla films.
That's funny that you got me that, because I got you something too upon my travels, because I saw it and I was like, I got you other stuff, but that's a surprise.
Okay.
But I had to get you this I had to. In support of your hot take. It's the summer's monster hit. Right? With exclusive
I love that.
Godzilla gallery. Like, look how cool this. First off, this cover is awesome.
Really awesome.
It's kind of like sexual. Like it's a very very anatomically correct Godzilla.
That's Well, it did lay eggs all through Madison Square Garden.
That's true.
Base.
Now I'm excited to educate myself and make sure to read through that.
Yeah. we should do a commentary of Godzilla 98 Godzilla.
Yeah.
We'll get Jacob Walsh, birthday boy Jacob Walsh from Toy Anxiety, to come on and join us for that, because I think he would probably have an absolute delight. That's his thing. That is awesome. Thank you, Alice, because that's super cute. That's super fun.
Hopefully you don't have that one. I was like, I'll get you something weird you would probably like. Is it a normal figure you would buy?
No, you did spot on. You're perfect. It's perfect.
It's okay that neither of you guys got me anything. That's fine.
Yeah, sorry. You're just here, aren't you?
I'm giving you a couple $100 next Tuesday. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Via Shop Mondo or mondoshop.com.
Next Tuesday, get ready.
Yep.
Be ready.
Yeah, be ready, because you might be buying more than one figure that day. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? One other quick thing of news just for comic books before we get into talking about Deadpool, the Marvels, She-Hulk, everything, how it's connecting, how it's all going to come together. They announced they're going to be releasing collected editions and omnibuses of Marvel DC crossovers. We have not had a Marvel DC crossover in close to 20 years at this point. The moment Marvel didn't buy nothing. Marvel couldn't buy anything. It was damn near broke. When Disney bought Marvel, all those crossovers went to a complete halt, dead stop, except for Avengers JLA, because they released that for, well, George Perez, more or less, right? Because he was really sick at that point, and at that point we weren't even quite sure if he was still going to be with us. But we got him for another good decade still. But regardless, they stopped because Disney and Warner Brothers don't really like working together if they don't have to. So they won't. And so the crossovers stopped. So if you didn't ever pick these up to begin with, like I said, the JLA Avengers, which is an absolute banger of a book, and it's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And this gem from the 90s,
so good.
DC versus Marvel, it's so much fun. It's so it's so unapologetically 90s.
Yeah. It's the Thor's look in that book is the most 90s Thor has
Aquaman as well.
ever looked. Yeah.
Aquaman as well. I love this interdimensional teenage hookups.
Oh, the best.
Yes.
Right?
That's
love
what
that can never be.
The love,
cross
and you know
dimensions.
Yeah.
And we'll get into this later too, because when it comes down to X-Men, we don't really care who's fighting who. We want to know who's hooking up with who.
Yeah.
That's why we read X-Men.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's
obviously.
There's no other reason to read X-Men other than like, is Gambit gonna like kill himself and make out with Rogue? Gotta tune in.
Maybe it'd be worth it. No?
Is Wolverine really going to be a homewrecker today? Let's find out. Or a mansion wrecker. Is that what it would be?
Yeah.
It's either way. Like, yeah, they're re-releasing all of it. Amalgam, all of that is getting a re-release as well. Daredevil, Batman. There's a whole bunch they're going to just release, which has me curious if we've got a new. Usually they kind of release this stuff in preparation for something, and it's not going to be a movie, which would be amazing if all of a sudden that did happen. They just all of a sudden announce, hey, James Gunn's going to direct Superman, Spider-Man. I'd be all down for it. But I do wonder, do we think there's going to be a crossover coming in the comics?
I mean, that would be cool. That would definitely be cool. I kind of would just like to see like Darkclaw and Spider-Boy again, like just do more amalgam stuff of like the characters that worked,
But would you modernize them to match their latest costumes?
Well, it's a good question, because it might be more like if those books had continued, what would they look like now, as opposed to combining like a modern Wolverine and a modern Batman. I don't know, maybe it's like the same thing. But I think that'd be, yeah. But yeah, like because like the whole amalgam thing, like those comics, like there was this implied history. It was like you're picking up with like whatever random issue they would have been at. Like Darkclaw had a whole rogues gallery of villains that were combinations of X-Men and Batman villains, and so like I feel like you could keep going. Like, what if the amalgam books had just like continued for the past, was it 20 years?
20 years,
yeah. Years.
Close to 30? Close to 30 years?
30 years, yep.
Marvel versus DC, which then this is going to be my homework for next week. We are going to fantasy book Marvel versus DC 2. And who would we pair up to fight or team up or hook up? Because that's all very important. That's all,
of course.
Right? Like, so what do we want to see? So I just want to or what new amalgams do we want to see as well, right?
Yeah.
There's been a lot of new characters that have shown up.
Yeah.
Right? I got one. I'm going to do one that's a spoiler. One amalgam has to be X-23 mashed up with Damian Wayne.
Yes.
Who's X-23? You'll have to enlighten me.
That is
Wolverine's female clone.
Oh, okay. With Damian Wayne, huh? It's specifically Damian. Is there a reason Damian of all the Robins?
Because she's a killer, and so is he.
You know what? You don't need to say anymore. Sold.
I could see Cassandra Cain also working, but no, Damian is that's a good pick.
right? Just throwing there's a lot because a lot's happened in
And
comics.
they like Deadpool wasn't in the first amalgam
No,
situation, right? Because he wasn't as popular as he wasn't Marvel Jesus at that point.
no.
Yeah.
That's true. He was, yeah, like at that time still he was still that weird. He wasn't even, shouldn't say weird because he's like weird now, but in the fun way, he was
Yeah.
more in that weird of like generic, cool costume, dude with swords, just generic assassin guy in X-Force.
He had maybe just broken the fourth wall by the
Ma-
time amalgam was happening.
Jeff Loeb may have just
Yeah.
All break.
crack that wall right open. Hey, great segue. Let's talk about it. Super Bowl happened. I was on Team Deadpool 3 trailer. That's who I was cheering for. I'm pretty sure that Taylor Swift was as well. God bless her. I did screen caps this time as opposed to trying to watch it just in case we got taken down again. Now I'm nervous. Got a little nervous. Man, this was like, I didn't know what to expect for a trailer, but I can tell you, it was way better than I thought it was going to.
I love this.
I love it too.
So good.
It's so good. Again, just all these visuals. Hang on. There's like this too. For anyone who doesn't know, the patch silhouette.
We're gonna see some patch.
Man, even if this turns out to be some sort of joke,
I mean,
you turn around and it's like
no matter what, it's a joke, right?
Well, no matter what, it's a joke. That's what I mean. Like,
yeah, he lifts the eye patch. It's like Wolverine.
Yeah. Shh.
Don't
People
tell
think I'm dead.
Here. Yeah.
Oh my God, they would think he's dead because of Logan.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I
That's
bet
the connection.
That's what it is.
And we start off with some sort of birthday or celebration of something. Love the Deadpool masks and stuff up here in the. You can't really tell because it's like dark on this screen, but
Shatterstar's back.
Shatterstar's back. Wolverine. We are missing. I noticed there's like a couple people that are missing, right? So we got Negasonic Teenage Warhead, Yukio. Like they're here, but they're Weasel. Played by TJ Miller. He's clearly not here. Which is we understand why, but we're also a bit of I found it to be just a little bit of a bummer. But yeah, and then no Cable, no Domino. But again, those could all show up later.
Yeah, they gotta show up.
Right? Like I think we're in for a world like again. I'm expecting a ton of cameos, but I'm also expecting it to be more story driven and not just cameo. Look at this.
Yeah.
This.
Because they did that bit, they've done that bit. They gotta kind of revamp it somehow.
Correct. Yes.
But also, I feel like the other Deadpool movies do a pretty good job of like. There's a lot of those references, but it's like it is story focused. Like it all is in service to the story, right?
Yeah, that's what's Zach is saying. Patch is actually Daniel Radcliffe. That would be funny.
Man, yeah,
that would be funny. I could see that being a rumor because it was a rumor for so long. Because it was probably done by the same guy who said we're gonna see Iron Man played by Tom Cruise in Multiverse of Madness. Like that was a thing for like a long time. We're gonna see this.
But they did do John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic.
They did do that.
It does happen.
Oh, we'll get to that Fantastic Four announcement here shortly too, which is great.
So much Marvel news.
So much. What is happening? And not only that, I got pictures from the Joker as well. The Joker too.
Yeah, right.
Those were dropped today as well. I didn't realize that Valentine's Day is a great day to drop like news and stuff.
Yeah, it's like the Super Bowl of comic book movies.
What is happening? But no, this is like again super funny, super cute because it gives us all like, oh, everybody's here. Everyone's okay,
including Wade's hair is also here.
Wade's hair, which he kind of looks like Ted Lasso, and I have a feeling we're gonna get a Ted Lasso joke out of this.
He would have actually, with a mustache, would have been good too.
Right. Speaking
But,
of great
you know,
mustache,
yeah, right.
this Peter is back as well. Right. And I think this all leads into the TVA showing up, because he did travel through time at the end of Deadpool 2 to save all his friends from X-Force. So it would make perfect sense for a timeline branch to hit. And now these guys are knocking on his door. Okay, before I just keep breaking everything down, I got to know, Alice, you were texted me with capital letters and exclamation marks. Like, when this trailer dropped, what was your, like, first off, how many times did you watch it? And then, like, and this just like how, like, tell me what parts were like getting, like, got you like super jazzed.
Well, okay, so I watched the full trailer on YouTube once, but I have since seen multiple clips on my social media that has popped up that I have rewatched multiple times. I was very excited. Well, first off, I guess I don't know why I was shocked, but the fact that the TVA, like the fact that they're making a very deliberate and non-cameo connection between like Deadpool and like the Avengers kind of group of Marvel was like, whoa, that's interesting. Because I think a lot of people sometimes consider the Avengers kind of like a more sanitized version of the superheroes. They're a little more like friendly to the mainstream. And Deadpool has kind of always been, he was like the first R-rated superhero film or something from Marvel. I can't remember. But like he's been kind of, bit more on the rugged side, the raunchy side, less kid-friendly side of
Correct.
the superheroes. So I was like, oh, they're linking like Loki in a sense, and then like TVA to Deadpool. That's really interesting. I hope he still gets to make the same jokes and the same kind of Deadpool kind of things as normal. But really interesting because I feel like it opens up a whole can of worms about where he is in the universe. Because I think the first film, they didn't want to really say anything in case it was a one-off. They didn't really want to link it to anything. That's why there's no real, you get some side X-Men that show up and none of the main cast, And then obviously in the second film, they had the cameo of the main cast. And then I think they're finally like, okay, Deadpool's done well. Let's officially kind of like wrap him into like the big universe with Marvel.
Yeah, I'm loving that too. And so we're gonna get into some Marvel spoilers here with that as well, because you were saying where's his place in all this. We got that Kelsey Grammer beast in when that rift opened up. Photon, she goes in there, Beast recovers her, right? It's awesome.
Yeah.
because he still just looks so good.
Yeah,
He's still
it's the perfect beast.
So do you think we're also going to get Photon? Are we going to get her in this movie as well with this beast to kind of like, now we're going to start just kind of meshing things a little bit?
I don't know. It's like they never quite build on those things the way you expect them to. Like
Right.
I feel like it's becoming harder and harder to predict what the post credits tease sequences will be, like
Yep.
I mean, it might be something to do with like the two movies, like it's like Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four are the movies upcoming, so it might be more about something to do with that than building for I don't know.
Right. Well, I was just kind of thinking like maybe they could, because that was the cliffhanger. They left her, she's left in that universe.
Yeah.
So at some point she's got to come back.
Right.
And it's like, if there's already X-Men there, then maybe. But at the same time, Ms. Marvel, at the end of her series, she's like, I'm a mutant. So then that happens too. So then there's, like I said, the Marvels, I feel like is going to end up being a bigger connection to a lot of this with the X-Men. And again, too, there's a big, huge connection between Captain Marvel and Rogue to begin with.
Right.
So I think, and I'm hoping that all of this will kind of tie in, because I actually kind of enjoyed the Marvels for what it was. And it feels like a I know it I think it's supposed to be part of that whole multiverse saga, but at the same time, I feel like it's that's laying new groundwork for what's coming. Agree? Disagree?
Yeah, I mean, well, certainly for that, certainly with that end teaser, like, because then I feel like, you know, these Marvel movies for a long time, it feels now they've been doing the, like, you know, we've broken through to other dimensions, and it's like there's a limitless, you know, every kind
Yep.
of, we can pull from any kind of version of these characters we want, and obviously we saw it in Multiverse of Madness. You know, they had like a little taste of it. I thought we would get more of it in stuff like, you know, the Spider-Man movie, where it's like they're like the fabric's coming apart, but you're not seeing, you know, they don't do like what they do with the Flash, where you actually like get glimpses of these worlds. But so then with the Marvels, they actually kind of did that, where they're like, okay, we're gonna, not only are we gonna like break through one of these holes in space, but we're gonna show you what's on the other side. But again, it's like, who, I think they've cleverly left things open-ended enough that they're not like painting themselves into any kind of a box where it's like, well, this is a X-Men universe, but we're not saying that it's the one that will like come to the MCU necessarily.
So crazy. It's funny. It is like such a mess. Oh man, what a glorious mess. Like,
that stresses me out, to be honest. I'm constantly like, I don't know what universe we're in. How does this tie into the main storyline? Are we in the right one? I don't know.
And you guys both worked on the Spider-Verse movies. If anyone is should be well versed in multiverse, it's you guys.
That's different.
That's Spider-Verse, not multiverse.
That's exactly. It's different.
Totally
Except that
different.
We linked it with all the live action films, so it's kind of the same. But
yeah, that's why seeing Kraven, Madam Web, and Venom 3 are very important.
Do you think Madam Web is gonna have like a post-credit scene where we see live action Miles Morales?
Let's not go there.
I hope not.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, I don't want that either. Not yet. Not yet. And not there. I think it would have been leaked by now.
Not there. Not on Valentine's Day.
Not on yeah, come on. Again, here we are. I think this is still the TVA, the locker rooms.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting suited up, so he's going to get put on a mission. And this is like the big kind of like reveal of like, hey, there's this whole other universe. Maybe you should come join these guys. So it's almost like he's getting recruited. Now we're at the TVA. Is this where we see Mobius? Do you think we got to get a Mobius cameo, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I think a cameo, though. I think the fact that he went back to his old life, like, it would be sad if they dragged him fully back into it. You know, I would like to think he has his own happy ending, you know. But a cameo, like if he dropped in on it, that would be great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's the Owen Wilson character, right?
Yeah.
I feel like Ryan Reynolds and Owen Wilson, like, you just gotta have like 2 seconds of them on set at the same time,
right? And I could totally see Deadpool making a Lightning McQueen joke.
Yeah.
Like, whatever that sound he makes, cuckoo or whatever he does. Yeah. Alice, what's the sound?
He'll call him like Lightning McQueen for something.
Right?
Thank you. See, I was like, you're in the age bracket. You should know this.
Yeah. That's my expertise. Cars and like
cars. Yeah.
Cars too.
Hey, it's Disney. They might show up.
And planes.
A carpool. Is Carpool gonna show up in this movie?
Alex, don't give them ideas.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Disney, you can have that one for free. Carpool. Make it happen.
I love that. That's really funny. Okay. Davey Sock Rocker. First off, thank you for being here, Davey Sock Rocker. As always. For a second, I thought you said Morbius, and I was like, oh my god, no, why? Hey, according to my IMDb page, I'm best known for Morbius. So be nice. All right. This is either a desert or the end of time, I'm going to assume. Okay.
Oh, big one here.
Is this Charles? Professor X?
I've heard, word on the interwebs is that this could be Cassandra Nova.
God, the internet's really good at speculating, hey?
Yeah. Well,
Like,
because Emma, the actress from The Crown, who played young Diana,
yeah.
she, I think, is rumored to be in this movie or confirmed, and people are speculating
Well,
she's playing Cassandra Nova.
hey, she could be playing Princess Diana and being part of the
True.
X-Force like she almost was.
Deadpool and Princess Diana, like that's a team made in heaven. That's
That
I want to see that.
Alice, that almost happened. And it was after Lady Di, after she passed away. It was a year later, they were like, we're gonna have her come back from the dead and join X-Force. And people were like, too soon. And it did not happen.
Yeah.
Almost anything can happen in comics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if they do that, then they gotta bring in Dupe. I think we're the little green Slimer blob dude. It's gotta happen.
Yeah.
Sandra Nova, that's a great.
I mean, that's cool, right? It feels like it's kind of like, she's such a great villain. It feels like it's a little premature to like bring her into something like this, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think that was even a year later. I think you're correct. I'm trying to be nice. Okay, I took this. I didn't even notice it until I screen capped it by accident. This looks like he's inside a dinosaur's mouth. So I'm wondering if we're also going to get a Savage Land take at some point. Maybe I could be.
Cool.
I'm reaching. I do realize, folks.
No, that's true. Why would they put this in the trailer if there wasn't information on the screen?
Yeah, they know people are going to tear it apart and pick it. So
here I am. I'm ready.
I like Savage Land. That's a cool idea.
Yeah, that's it. Well, here he is walking through
Casino Royale,
right? Madripoor. There's the shot again. The suit up shot.
That was good for me. Ryan saved that one for me.
I did actually. This is probably one of the greatest quick shot montages of a suit up I've ever seen.
Canada's ass?
This is Canada. That joke's coming too.
Is Logan Canada's ass? I'm sure Logan probably has a great ass too.
Maybe that's what the movie's about. It's like them in competition.
Yeah. God, I honestly cannot wait for this movie. The hype is like.
Where's Alpha Flight, eh?
I'm wondering if they're going to appear too at some, or at least be mentioned. Like,
yeah.
Again, I'm going to get to another character in a hot second. This one's also for Alice.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Again, very important. The adjustment in the suit. Always have a friend around for one. Right? And again, the shot in the elevator too, with coming up from the splits. Again, if this is the kind of shit that doesn't get you hyped, I have a weird feeling you may have no soul. Because
wow, hot take. And again, this is probably one of the coolest reload scenes I have ever seen. Like, again, this whole thing is hype.
They nailed it with the Deadpool costume. Like,
so
this
good.
might be the best comic to movie costume translation.
Agreed. Yep, agreed.
Yeah.
Like the bright red.
Even in the first film, like the way they decided to animate his facial features, I was like, that's really good. Like I don't know who suggested it, how long they spent, but that was really good.
Yeah, we should find out. We're in the industry. We should be able to find out who this is.
Find out. Yeah.
Somebody knows.
Or
someone
IMDb,
always knows someone. Yeah, someone always knows someone. They'll be able to tell us. So even if we have to get Ryan Reynolds himself on this show, and we will.
Yes.
I feel like it was like they were probably thinking that's like necessary to do this in live action, like because the character's so expressive and like if you don't have that ability to act with your eyes, at least, like you really can't even do the character.
Yeah, because the worst case scenario would have been they were like, let's somehow just have his face out, which sounds
Yeah.
dumb, but they've done that before with characters where it's like they make their face more normal so that they can get the acting across. And I'm like, please don't do that. That's like the worst case scenario for most characters.
Looking at majority of the Spider-Man movies where he's always losing his mask.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm like, come
totally.
on, man.
Dude, get it together.
Or Batman, why he doesn't ever have the white eyes, you know? It's
Right?
like,
There's
it's
that
true. It's
too.
like, you know, that is, you know, those are the tools of acting, and at the end of the day, that's really what it's all about. And so, but yeah, it is hard. It's a hard bet. I think of like the Tick, that the Patrick Warburton Tick, where it's just like, you know, there's
Yes.
no like goggles or anything. Like,
but I'm stoked. He, like, when he's Deadpool, he wears the mask a lot.
oh yeah, no, and
And
because it has the animated quality, it's like it's fine. And I feel like they've done the same thing with Spider-Man with the like eye thing.
Yep.
Like it's just
Yep.
you can do the performance now, like with that.
It's so good. And I got and it's crazy. Like, it's cool of him to do that. Like Ryan Reynolds to even do that, because I could see, like, I think he even makes a joke about it, where it's like the studios don't want to cover up this face. Right? Like, and he does it. So even when he takes off the mask, he's got the makeup going and like everything.
Yeah.
Like, it's so good. Again, like, there's the beast. Or what was that cloud thing called from Loki at the end of time?
Oh, that's from Loki.
That's from Loki. Yeah.
He
He is at the end of time, like where everything is like the 20th Century Fox logo is and everything else. That's got to be the end of time.
And this is clearly like the end. I mean, it says it's like it's the end of the Fox universe.
Yeah. So yeah, this is going to be a love letter in a lot.
It makes me wonder if we'll see other Fox Marvel properties besides X-Men. Like if everything will show up.
I do.
Discarded characters.
Yeah.
I think when he sees Captain America, he goes, man, he looks like Johnny Storm. Like, I could just, there's so much they can do.
I mean, maybe Chris Evans comes back as Johnny Storm. Like, you know,
that could very well happen as well. I would be down. Deadpool versus Alien from Davey Sockrocker. I would be absolutely thrilled. That would be super cool. Right? I don't know what this is or what's going on. But this looks like something from Dune. You see a helicarrier in the background, though.
Oh, wow.
In the far background.
I was wondering, I mean, I guess he doesn't have the cyborg arm, but that almost kind of looked like Cable. But
almost kind of looked like Cable. And even fingers. Like when I watched it for the first time, I was like, did they just show Dr. Doom?
Yeah, I thought that too.
Right? And this could be Fox's Dr. Doom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? That's my hunch. I want Screen Crush to report it. Fan speculation says that is Dr. Doom. Again, I'm hoping this is Canada. I'm really hoping this is Canada. He's fighting the TVA now, so something clearly happens. And again, quick callback to Deadpool 1 and the leaked trailer.
I remember the day that leaked. I was in high school. It was amazing.
Yep, me too.
yeah, you were in high school with me. We were there together.
We were there together watching on our phones.
Yeah,
our Motorola's.
It was great. Razor
my Razor.
phones.
Hello, Moto. Like,
I had my Nokia.
Yeah. It was great times. Speaking of more Fox characters, Pyro from X-Men 1 and 2 and 3 from the original run with his goggles.
He's
from
back.
Again, a little more comic booky. Close. We're getting closer.
By the way, somebody posted I think it was maybe the Power of X-Men on Instagram, posted that scene from X-Men 2 between he and Ian McKellen where they're on the Blackbird jet. So good. I gotta watch that movie again. It's been a long time, but I mean, it's just the scene between the two of them, and Ian McKellen is obviously like such a phenomenal actor, and they're talking about, you know, what it means to be a mutant, and there's this cool interplay where, you know, he's got the lighter that he uses to light his powers, and, you know, Magneto uses his magnetism to bring the lighter to him, and then Pyro uses his power to call the flame back over to him. It's just this beautiful little blocking. It's really, really good.
The X-Men X2 is good.
Yeah.
Like, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is, I assume this couldn't be a hot take, but I do prefer the older films over the new ones. That's not a hot take, right? Okay.
Not to me.
I don't think so. Not to me either. Not to me. It's funny because when you talk about the new ones too, when I think about First Class, I remember with them when they first announced January Jones from Mad Men as Emma Frost, and I was like, oh my God. And then it was like the most dull interpretation of Emma Frost since Generation X on Fox.
Yeah.
Like, it was rough.
I just remember pretty much from seeing the sort of the very first leaked costume images, or there was like leaked promotional images, and I was like, this can't be. This is like Photoshop, fake. This isn't the movie.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the Hellfire Club got done dirty.
Real quick, who do we think? So is that guy with the like shroud? Do we think that's the same hooded character from the other?
Do we think it's Zorn?
Well, has Zorn been in these movies?
No, he hasn't, but it looks Zornish. I think it's because he's blurry for one, and it's got like the skull-like teeth.
It almost is it Bane?
It could be Bane. I think someone else said Bane too. I think it was Zach. He's like,
it almost kind of
look like pipes, like some kind of tubing down here. But yeah, that is very...
It's got kind of with the eye cutouts here. It almost has like a Deadpool look to it. I wonder if this could be like some sort of alternate version of Deadpool.
Do you think it's the one from Wolverine Origins?
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. Probably no. He killed that one.
No, he killed that
Maybe
one.
It's like a future Deadpool or something. I mean, do we think this is like the Brotherhood of Mutants that we're seeing here?
Maybe. Oh man, this movie's not coming out soon enough. I keep thinking, and it's funny. I keep going, yeah, it's coming out next month, but I'm like, that's Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters is coming out next month.
When is this movie coming out? I actually don't remember.
July. Like July 26th.
Yeah, it's like during Comic-Con.
That makes sense, yeah.
Which is huge. Oh, that's Gady's Toys. Andrew's Gady's Toys. Pyro's got his Ultimates look. You are spot on. That's funny because it's like, I know this is from the comic, but I can't. Nothing clicked, and that's it. You are correct. Yeah, the Davey Sock Rocker. This movie needs to be out this Friday. Yeah. Yes, it does. I agree.
Out of the way, Madam Web.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you Madam Web shows up in that movie. So this is like,
imagine Deadpool shows up in Madam Web.
Yeah.
You guys thought, you're gonna regret speaking poorly of Madam Web.
Yeah. He was here the whole time. There is a Secret Wars comics, Secret Wars #5 from the latest Secret Wars that came out, which has Dr. Doom on the cover. I do have the covers here.
Feels like a lot of Dr. Doom, a lot of dancing around Dr. Doom in that Deadpool trailer.
Well, that is Secret Wars #5. And what I did was I was like, hang on, I think this might be a misdirect to a different Secret Wars #5.
Oh, you really are becoming like Charlie Day with the board of connections.
I am. And I was like, because here it was like, at last, the X-Men strike back, and it's Captain America and Iron Man down for the count on the cover, and the X-Men charging, which is also Secret Wars #5. And yes, I am reaching, folks. I told you this. I am reaching as far as I can. I honestly,
you heard it here first. Confirmed. Rogue, Nightcrawler, Colossus. They're all in the movie.
Yeah.
Spider-Man. We see it here.
I am here for it. So that is what I don't know. This is what I think. I think it's kind of like a nod to both. I wouldn't put it past this movie to do something like that, just because, you know, Deadpool movies have done so many deep cuts before, right? Like even like throwing in like Black Tom Cassidy, like the, you know, in part 2, Omega Red.
Yeah.
right? All this kind of stuff. So he's, those guys, they know what they're doing when it comes to their deep cuts and all of that. So I don't know. I am stretching, but I am excited. X-Men is the whole reason why I read I started reading comics to begin with.
Yeah.
So it's always super, super, super exciting. Alex, your overall thoughts on this trailer and what are you excited about?
It's a great trailer. It's a really exciting trailer. I think it's awesome. I think that, one of the things we haven't touched on is that it is officially called Deadpool and Wolverine. So obviously the trailer is very Deadpool heavy. But I feel like we could maybe expect just as much Wolverine content in the works. Like, so I think we, from what we've seen, we probably have seen very little of the full scope of the project. Like Wolverine's more than just a one scene, one fight scene kind of thing. Like he's clearly an integral part to the movie.
Yes. And I don't know if you've noticed this, Alex. I'm pretty sure, Alice, I think we might have discussed this a long time ago. And there's one thing I've noticed about trailers, modern trailers specifically. This goes across the board with like Disney, Sony, like so much of it. A majority of the trailers are the first half of the film, or from the first half, 3/4 of the film.
Yeah.
Like they don't really show you a lot at the end. And if they do show you something from the end, it's like a blip, of what it is. Right? Like I remember people like freaking out when the first Avengers trailer dropped and that big giant space snake vehicle thing. And it was like, oh, they ruined the movie. And like, you really think that's the end boss? Like you think that's it? Right? The whole city ended like it was like people were wrong.
So wrong.
So I think we're gonna get that Wolverine versus Deadpool fight pretty early.
Yeah.
And pretty quick.
Yeah. Because then afterwards they have to team up as a duo and go off on an adventure. That's clearly how this is gonna pan out.
I think they're gonna team, because as we saw in the other shot of what I hope is Canada, with all the snow and the trees, because that is a very stereotypical vision of Canada: snow, trees, and mountain.
You're right.
So I am hoping that is how some of those bodies are left there from Wolverine as well.
Yeah.
Right? So they fight at the end of time. Yeah. They get there to the end of time via the TVA and then go rogue. And then just
rogue. Rogue shows up?
I hope so. I hope a Rogue shows up.
Come on.
Like, I honestly hope that the original X-Men team shows up in their 90s gear.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's what I just want it. Just give it to me, all of them. Halle Berry, everybody.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Anna Paquin, give her giant hair. Right? Let's do it proper. Right? Let's make her hair bigger than her ass. It has to happen. It has to happen. Okay, let's bring up the other big reveal this week. The one that dropped today.
Insane.
How are we feeling about this casting? This Art Deco 1960s. Someone looked up the Life magazine that Ben Grimm, The Thing, is reading. That is a real.
It's like
Life
LBJ
magazine
on the cover.
Yes, and that was
64.
From December 1963.
Oh,
that's
63.
the issue.
Okay.
So, again, I love these outfits. I love the moon boots.
Yep.
I love the casting.
It's pitch perfect. It's so good. It's exactly what I want. What I was hoping this movie would feel like.
Yes. Yep. I'm all for it. Okay, Alice, you're nodding.
I'm like, yeah, and I'm hoping it doesn't blow it, because sometimes when it's perfect, you're like, this is gonna go so good, and then they blow it. So I'm like, I don't want to say too many expectations, because I'm hoping it turns out good.
Yeah, I'm with you as well. Like, again, you always got to keep that in mind that there's still plenty of room and time for error. But I mean, aesthetically, this looks really, really, really good.
Yes. Yes.
Right. And even with that 1960s kind of Art Deco-y, not 60s, would it be called Art Deco if it's 60s? Maybe
Is that
No,
Fallout
no.
era?
It's
That
it's
point?
modern, right?
like
Yeah.
it's So the six. I'm just trying to think of like what's the best way to. If anyone in the chat.
retro.
Well, to me, how did I put it? It was like retro optimistic future. That's what this feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And which is awesome because there's not enough of that. Everything's always like apocalyptic doom and gloom
Right.
future.
It
So it's always,
feels like a new direction for Marvel movies. Like even just looking at the costumes, it's like I feel like, you know, they have like a formula for doing like superhero suits now, and we're in this like kind of mode of sameness, right?
yeah,
These look different, you know, they're interesting.
right.
I mean,
Mid-century
that's
modern,
why
50s mod.
WandaVision, I loved WandaVision so much, was because they did something different from
Mm.
all the other things that were happening at the same time.
Yep. Yeah, I love that show too for the exact same reason. And it was one of the few shows in a long time where it became like a cooler talk show, right? Like where everyone like it came weekly, everyone watched it, and then everyone speculated and be like,
Mhm.
"Oh, I think it could be this, I could be this," right? Like it's that's what makes it fun. And I'm hoping this kind of I know this won't have that because this is going to be a movie, but
Yeah.
I'm really hoping however they do this, because this just looks super cute and super fun. I love the turtleneck with the 4 on it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like just I don't know, just everything about this
And
looks
they have
great.
different like Sue has the white collar and Reed does not. So there's even variations between their suits.
Yeah, and I'm hoping we get a Baxter building, but it looks like they're just hanging out in the house. I don't know.
Well, that's
This
what
just
I love about this image and about, you know, what this implies for the Fantastic Four is I like that version of them that's like I could see them like opening fan mail here and like, you know, in the old comics, like they're always just kind of like being a family in their headquarters before some, you know, world-ending threat, you know, interfered with everything. But like this has this like sort of family vibe uh to it.
okay, here's something. I'm going to throw this out there. We're going to get a teenage Willie Lumpkin in this movie, and then if they get time displaced and end up in the modern Marvel,
Oh,
we'll get old Willie Lumpkin delivering their mail,
Ryan, that's brilliant.
right? Also, speaking of brilliant in this, and one thing that a lot of people are not talking about is that Herbie the robot is right there. And if
So
for
good.
those who don't know who Herbie the robot is, he appeared in the 1960s cartoon of the Fantastic Four. And he replaced the Human Torch because they didn't want kids lighting themselves on fire. So they replaced him. Is it 60s or is it 70s? Either way, awful animation. Absolutely terrible. That old style. And yeah, they replaced it with a wise cracking robot. Again, and people have this weird myself included, I have this weird soft spot for Herbie, but I always like how they incorporate any kind of weird lore from these old cartoons into anything like modern comics or whatever. And it's just, I think having Herbie, this retro robot, it was 80s. You're kidding me.
When Herbie was oh wow. Yeah, I guess
really? That was
that's
80s?
probably true.
But it looks like it was made in the
Yeah,
60s.
I mean the animation was so cheap.
Oh God.
I was really they're like literally moving the cell to like have people
it's like
walk.
have you ever okay, we've all seen The Incredibles. Did you ever see they did like a pitch for their own 60s Saturday morning cartoon of Mr.
Yeah, yeah.
Incredible with Mr. Skipperdo, and he had that rabbit with the glasses, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden they were like, is that supposed to be me? I'm white. And they have like and Frozo's like, are those lips? Are those like just human lips over the drawings? Like,
Right. Yeah.
that's what that cartoon reminds me of, right? Like it's yeah, but 1978 is still like,
Yeah,
come
it's,
on,
you
man.
know, it was like
Ugh.
yeah.
It was a choice. You know?
It was still a choice. But either way, I'm super stoked that they found a way to bring in Herbie.
Yeah, and he looks cool.
This is
Yeah.
the coolest he's
Best
ever looked.
Herbie's ever looked. Yep.
Yeah.
I
Like,
expect
Not doing
lots
any
of
of that
little
hovering.
merch Herbies rolling around somewhere in the.
oh my
I'm
god.
telling you, this is the new Baby Yoda.
This is
Heard here first.
they
No
should
more-
have Herbies at the Build-A-Droid Depot at Disney.
Oh,
a lot of
yeah.
crossover potential.
that
A
would be
lot
so
of
He's got very DJ quality to him.
he does. Yeah. Star Tours, put him on there.
He's like a tall Wall-E.
Yeah.
He's Wall-E.
Tolly.
Yeah. Gosh.
Right. That was I like this. Oh my god, give me an RC Herbie.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's gonna happen.
it is.
Yeah.
You're gonna have like one
Folks,
of those
it's gonna
interactive. No, it'll be interactive. It'll be about so big, and it'll talk back and forth with you. I
And
guarantee you.
he'll be your butler. Like we have the technology now. They're gonna make a Herbie
That's
is
a
just
Roomba?
a Herbie. It's just Herbie. It's just
That
it's an
vacuums?
actual robot.
Vacuums and cooks for
Yeah,
you.
he's a
Oh, yeah.
butler. Yep, the
We're
dream
living. That's the future I want.
finally here.
Like,
But
why
that's
are we?
just one step closer to the robot revolution. Are you sure we want to go that direction?
Do I want an AI butler? Yes.
You're part of the problem. When
I am
when
part
the
of-
robots come,
Hey!
they're gonna take you out first.
Hey,
We're gonna
AI
be their
butler.
butlers.
Can you please draw me a picture? No, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not commissioning my robot butler to do art. I want my AI to do the chores that we don't want to do.
It's
Yeah,
true.
Right?
bring a coffee mug to us in our living room.
Yeah.
Right. That's 5 feet away.
Yeah.
Could you just
Or
jaunt
is-
over there?
Or is Herbie like cheersing them? Is he like
part of the
doing? Is
family.
he giving a
Yeah.
toast?
Oh,
He's
definitely
having
bringing. He's
coffee
bringing
with
Ben
a
Grimm a
Fantastic
coffee.
Four. Who do you think will do the voice? Do you think they'll get like
Bill Hader,
David Cross or someone?
David Cross. Oh, David Cross would be great.
Yeah.
Right? Oh my gosh, I just blew myself. Yeah. He'll have a little like sticker on him, anus tart. It'll be amazing. Arrested Development, folks. Arrested Development.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, you should be watching it every day. It is the best, right? I think
One more thing to say
Herbie
about
Furby.
this. Speaking of good casting, Pedro Pascal. I feel like that's the crux of this inspiring confidence, right? Because like casting him as Mr. Fantastic, such a great idea. Like that,
Yeah.
like who you put in that part, like is so important because like the character has like tendency to be boring or uninteresting, and
do you like math? Because if you like math, you're gonna love Reed Richards.
yeah, I
I'm a
feel like
nerd.
it's a hard part to cast, and they picked a guy that just is like so inherently likable. Like it's just
very charismatic.
having him at sort of in that part, like it's just it's a really smart move.
Yeah, I think the whole cast is great. The guy from Stranger Things, gosh, you think I would have looked up these guys' names before we started this, but as per usual, I don't remember anyone's names. Joseph
Quinn.
Quinn.
Joseph
Thank you.
Quinn.
Oh, see, this is why I need co-hosts, people
Yeah.
to do the show with me. Otherwise, I wouldn't know. Joseph Quinn, I think, is also a perfect choice for Johnny Storm because he does have that bright-eyed wonder about him. Plus, the girls love him right now. So to have Johnny Storm being like that teenage heartthrob, and Mr. Fantastic being played by the other heartthrob,
Yeah.
I think
Get off all the boxes.
right. So I think this is. I honestly think this casting's perfect.
You're
And
saying this movie's
Kirby,
gonna get some people
yeah.
hot and bothered.
I think so. I do think so. And Kirby, who plays Sue Storm, Vanessa Kirby. Woo, there we
Yeah.
go.
Another Kirby in the involved with Fantastic Four. I saw somebody posted this Kirby will make more money off of Fantastic
Four than Jack Kirby ever did.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so sad.
Or
But,
like finally a Kirby's making
but they don't
money
like to
off
pay
Fantastic
their
Four.
they don't like to pay their cast either. So maybe not. Right. So but I think she's a great choice too. Like because she was in Hobbs and Shaw, Napoleon, and
Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible. That was the other act. So she's already like she's down with doing action shows.
Gatey's Toys said that he wishes that she was Emma Frost, but which would have been very cool. But
that would have been cool too.
But we'll see the range. We'll see the range of Vanessa Kirby.
Yeah. So I'm stoked. And then the other dude from The Bear.
Yeah, that's great cast. This is a perfect cast.
Yes. Yeah. Like it's like another big thing. I always thought, how is Disney going to do a Fantastic Four movie when we've got two Incredibles movies? Because they're very similar in aesthetic.
Yep.
Right?
And of course they do share pretty close to similar powers. Like for a move set and all that kind of stuff. So I was like, how are they going to make this? How are they going to make Mr. Fantastic dynamic without looking like Elastigirl?
Well, I think, Incredibles is very much like, it's a midlife crisis movie, right? Like as much as it's about family and a family of superheroes, like both, in the sequel, I guess to a lesser extent, but it is kind of like, it's kind of that past your trying to recapture the glory days sort of thing. So like, that's like such a specific story. And I doubt that I don't see them going in that direction.
I don't either. Yeah. Here's my next question for both of you as well. We'll start with Alice. Do you want to see Dr. Doom in this movie? Or at least a Victor Von Doom?
Yeah, I'd be down for it. I feel like for me, again, maybe this is more hot takes. Dr. Doom has never been a very interesting character to me.
That's a hot take. But no, that's okay. It's okay.
I'm gonna come on the next stream with a Dr. Doom figure, and then I'll be like,
yeah.
No, don't worry. He's actually, it's funny. He's one of my favorite villains.
Okay. Well, sell it to me. Like, what? Yeah.
Well,
he's the Darth Vader of Star Wars.
He's like, yeah.
Yes, I think Darth Vader is.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's fair.
Hot takes. These are the hot takes.
And it is 8:15, guys. We don't know.
Yeah. Because he is that dictator. He has like Doom bots. He's a genius on the same level as Reed. But what holds him back is because he's just a prick. He could probably win and do much better if he wasn't just a piece of shit. And I think that's what it comes down to. And it's like that's the moralistic lesson at the end of the day. Is like, no matter how smart you are, no matter how much power you have, you're still gonna lose because you're a dick.
Well, that's why I think I kind of do want to see him in this movie, because I mean, even though like every Fantastic Four movie has Dr. Doom in it, and it's like, they never get like further into the movie, into the franchises to do like really other things, but like Dr. Doom, like Fantastic Four, if it's about family, it's all about like their family. Like Dr. Doom is a guy who's all alone in his by his own design. He won't allow there to be anyone else on his level that he could treat as an equal. Like his ego is too, like Dr. Doom is defined by his ego, right? Like, and he wants to control people that are close to him. He makes sure, like he does everything for his like countrymen, right? For his people. Like, he wants them to live, a life without strife, right? But like, as long as he controls it, as long as he is at the top, like, and so this is a guy that, so you basically have family versus being alone forever. Right. And I think that's an interesting, that's like at the heart of Fantastic Four, right? And that's why they work so well as adversaries.
Quip, you're gonna have to check out the replay. We do a little bit of breakdown, and I do a big stretch on that one. Thank you for being here and hanging out as well. The Jevons24 is saying, please just go directly to Galactus and the Surfer. I'm absolutely all for Galactus. he is one of the coolest designed characters in comics. Period.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, you
he
think
should be
that-
played by Tom Cruise, right? Because he eats planets too,
Yeah. Oh, right. Yes. Yes.
right?
I mean, you think that Thanos was bad? Wait till you see Galactus.
Yeah.
Like, it's nothing compared to Galactus.
They can't screw up Galactus,
Yeah.
right? That big helmet and just all of it. You can't screw it up. I think if they're not going to just go all the way with it, I think people will just be like, nope, not into it. Right. And where did I see? I think it might have been on the Geek Dad Life Discord. If you have paid your $5 to the Patreon to be part of the Geek Dad Life network, someone mentioned Mole Man, which would also have been a fun villain as well, right?
Because that was the first issue, right? That's their first
the big
first
monster
baddie.
coming out.
That'd be cool.
It'd be fun.
That'd be very cool.
Again, Fantastic Four has a lot of cool villains, and they're all over the place. Like I said, you're dealing with mole people, dictators, cosmic beings, and then there's the negative zone.
Yeah.
That's DC, isn't it?
It's
the Phantom Zone.
No, Phantom Zone's DC. Negative Zone is
Fantastic Four.
Four.
It's Fantastic Four. Okay, and then there's the Nihilus.
The Nihilus, yeah.
Right, another one. So it's like Fantastic Four's got a lot of cool characters in it that they can bring in. And
all the heralds.
So good. I'm super excited. Okay, one last thing, and because I wanted to bring this in too. Actually, I think there's one thing I forgot. I'll bring it up at the very end. I'm going to go back to Deadpool. I'm going to circle back to Deadpool at the very end, but I want to talk about one more thing. And I know we're usually trying to stick close to an hour. We're going to go a little over.
We're having a good time, you know?
We are having a good time. I want to bring up these photos that Todd Phillips released today, because nothing says romance, solid, like
bad
couples.
Romance.
Oh man, good. Yeah, ooh, nicely done.
Hey.
Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn, Joaquin Phoenix, Joaquin. One day. One day I will get it. As the
I
Joker.
can't say the title of this movie.
I can't either. I do not know. But again, posted some beautiful photos. This is going to be an art film musical more than anything else. And that's the whole thing. Again, I think we brought this up before. This is a musical. I cannot wait for this movie as well. I cannot wait for the first trailer to drop. I did enjoy the first movie, even for all its awkward, tense moments. It's not a movie I sit there and go, you know what? I need a quick pick-me-up. I'm going to put the Joker on. You don't...
Get me my Dune 2 popcorn bucket.
And no popcorn. I just need this. Yeah. And then, but I honestly cannot wait for this. I think this is going to be... She's got acting chops, so does he. I think this is going to be awesome. I don't know if Alice, have you talked about this movie at all yet? Is this something that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, I brought it up both times I've been on.
Oh yeah, I think you.
Yeah. What movie are you looking forward to? I was like,
oh, that's right. You said
Joker too.
You did. You absolutely did.
Yeah, I'm excited because I love, despite how problematic their relationship is, if you don't question it too much, I do love their story. Yes. Because it is so twisted and then but like weirdly romantic. Yeah, and I would like to see a film that kind of addresses that. I assume they're going to go into kind of how fucked up, well, sorry, this is YouTube, maybe I should swear.
Yeah, go ahead, you can start.
How fucked up their relationship is, but also they'll do like this picture says, little moments where they're like, we forget everything because we're so in love, you know?
Yep.
And maybe it's just this picture, but I'm sort of sensing a reversed power dynamic with this because, you know, Arthur Fleck is such kind of like a fragile character in a lot of ways. Like I know he kind of like comes into his own at the end of the last movie, but like just seeing this, seeing some of these photos, like I could see, because like, you know, obviously it's like, you know, in the cartoon is like the Joker manipulates Harley Quinn, and it's a very much like a dependent, dysfunctional, abusive relationship. But this, I could see it being the reverse, where she really is like his therapist who manipulates him into this, this toxic relationship where she's sort of the driving force behind it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got mommy issues,
That's a great,
so
Oh,
that's a great
right.
idea.
Yeah. No,
because I feel like the reason why I loved the Joker, the first film, was because it was so different. They made the Joker kind of just an awkward, not a great childhood, kind of a little dweeby, which in a way I feel like suits Joker. I know Joker is supposed to be this suave, kind of almost maniacal, but I totally can see him as like a awkward, like ha 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 kind of, in his own world kind of character. And in the film, he's like kind of trying to fight against it at the beginning, and then he can't. But for Harley Quinn to be the person to be like, no, you should be that evil person. You should be, that could very well be the case.
Well, at some point he gets out. There again, this looks like something out of a musical number.
Yeah.
Oh, and this is that Greg Capullo Batman cover. I mean, I wonder if they're directly referencing it, where he's dancing with Batman's empty cowl.
Yes. Holy shit. I didn't even catch. You're correct. Again, this looks amazing. But now that you said that, Alice, I'm like, oh man, that's the movie I want. Because again, that would be something completely new, and we wouldn't have seen it coming. And again, relationship goals. Joker and Harley Quinn. I know a lot of people hate them as a couple now because of the Harley Quinn and Ivy. I think even Johnny Cock brings it up here.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. We do love Harley Quinn and Ivy.
I hope Ivy just shows up at the end. The Joker's left alone there again. I think it's just when I was introduced to Harley Quinn, she was just the hench woman. Which then became girlfriend kind of thing as it went on. And there's always like that part of me that's like, I see where they're going and I know why they're doing it. But there's also a part of me that's like, I just kind of wish they'd go back to their really awful, terrible, gross relationship ways. Because
like
again,
a train wreck.
It's like watching a train wreck. Man, oh man. It's like watching someone's Instagram story. It's so good. It's great because it's not me. Again, and I want to hang on. There's one more picture I wanted to show. Give me one. And this goes back to Deadpool because I wanted to bring in someone else that I think is going to tie into this. Into Deadpool. I think she is going to appear in Deadpool. I think She-Hulk is going to be in Deadpool, just to kind of go back to it.
Interesting.
Because in this scene, and it's right behind her, there is a rack of Deadpool comics.
Huh.
And she also gets to look at the Marvel Universe through Kevin, not toying around Kevin, a different Kevin, right? So she gets to, and she too is just like, we're part of something bigger than me and all this kind of stuff. So she does this, like, she's been breaking the fourth wall before Deadpool. They kind of have a very similar gimmick.
Yeah.
I could definitely see her showing up in Deadpool at some point. Right? So
hopefully with Howard the Duck. Right?
Yes. Right? Like Quip's saying, She-Hulk broke fourth wall. There needs to be a fight. I'd be absolutely down for it. Right? Like if they brought in Hulk and She-Hulk to fight Deadpool and Wolverine, I would be totally down. Right?
Yeah.
Especially if she breaks the fourth wall first, or whoever breaks the fourth wall first, the other one goes, "Oh, you see them too?" Like it would just be like, again, I think yes, and she has to make a Green Lantern reference, right? Agreed. Quip, dude, you're on it. I really hope She-Hulk is in this. This show gets so much grief for no reason. And plus, in this shot, this is why I picked this shot, because this is where she talks to me specifically. because she goes, "Where are the X-Men?" Right? And then she looks at me like, "Thank you. You're asking the question for me." Right? And so her already asking where the X-Men are, they got to bring the X-Men to her because she's been asking for it.
Mm.
So that's my big, I don't know if it's a bold prediction, but that's just a prediction. I think She-Hulk's going to appear.
That'd be cool.
Happen,
Maybe
yeah.
she's working for the Time Bureau.
You think she would work for the Time Bureau?
I don't know. Maybe.
No,
I feel like I would think
Or-
less of her. I'd
Are
be
they
like,
bad guys.
yeah, I can't see that happening. And she's also been a member of the Fantastic Four as well. So
Oh yeah,
she's got to show up in that too. And that's another connecting the dot with She-Hulk, Deadpool, X-Men, Fantastic Four. I think
Yeah, maybe it'll be we'll get Chris Evans as the Human Torch again, the Michael Chiklis Thing, and She-Hulk. They'll just be hanging out and be like, "Hey, Deadpool."
Yeah, all wearing a 4.
And Carpool. Carpool will be there too.
Carpool.
Voiced by Owen Wilson.
yeah.
Right? Oh my god, this is funny. Throw in Mark Paul. I never know how to say his last name. Grossier. Yeah, but because I'm Canadian, I guess, so I have to say it slightly French. Yeah, walking by their fourth wall fight as Zach Morris. Timeout. That would be awesome. I'd be down for that too. No, that's cool. I got nothing else to talk about. That's it.
Talked out.
I have talked out. We went for close to an hour and a half for this one. There was so
You had a
much
lot
happening.
to talk about. Yeah.
There was so much. But again, next week we're going to talk about Marvel versus DC 2, which was not announced. We're going to do some fantasy booking next week, and then whatever happens as well, news-wise, we're going to do that. Alice, let's quickly go do some plugs for you as we. No, I want to stop doing that. Hang on, give me one hot minute as I get to the link. And I'm going to let you do your plugs here for your comic.
Yes, this is my comic, All Haven Academy. It's on Webtoons if you want to give it a read. It's about a protagonist female in school learning she has superpowers and then being like, maybe I don't want to be a hero, but also all the responsibilities and kind of pressures that come with being in a supernatural school. And you can see it's written under my username AkioChat. All my social media is under that. So if you want to search me up on Instagram, Twitter, any of those places, you can find me there as well.
Which is awesome. And I have a link for it in the description below as well. So if you're here and you want to check it out, boom, you can just click it right there and then, which is awesome. I got one more other quick thing to plug. I don't know if you want to help me plug it, Alex, because this is your company. This is this week's sale.
Yeah.
With what's on sale. Our friend Attack Peter.
Look at this guy, Attack Peters, Creature from the Black Lagoon. Soft vinyl. This figure is so awesome. It's just amazing, and I don't know if you can scroll. It's big. It's really satisfying. And yeah, this is Attack Peter's unique art style. I mean, I love getting the opportunity to for our company to bring like specific artist styles to life like this. Like this is just like, to me, this is the dream, getting to take classic characters, a unique artistic individual artistic take, and like turn into an action figure or a soft vinyl figure. Like, so cool. And so yeah, so this is on sale now, pre-orders until Friday.
Friday noon Central.
Yes, right. So,
Right?
or as Peter says, Friday before lunch. So make sure that if you want this, you're definitely you don't wait. So get in Friday morning, whatever
Whatever you do first thing. If you're like saying I gotta wait for payday, then do it first thing Friday. Otherwise, you are going to forget.
Yeah.
This is amazing. And so and if you're like, I can't get this and what's coming out next week, well, then you have to make your own tough choices. I can't make
You
them
can.
for you.
Yeah, or you know what? treat yourself. But yeah, and also it's like, yeah, once and with something like the soft vinyl release, once it's gone, it's gone in this version. So so yeah, don't sleep on the creature from the Black Lagoon. It looks so cool. Like I love the kind of like, it's got this sort of like retro vibe to it. Like it feels of the era of the original movie.
And
which
even the
it's
way
like,
it's painted, like it looks carved.
yes,
Like it's so good. And
They're
it's funny,
painted?
it's crazy how well Peter's art translates
oh yeah,
to 3D. Like
yeah.
it's so good.
It's so cool. Yeah, check out Attack Peter. Follow him on all the socials. He's an amazing artist, incredible style. Like, and yeah, it's just
He's
really
a bit of an
cool.
ass. If you came on if you watched Toy Anxiety last night, we had him on and he came on and just roasted everybody and then plugged the goods. Like it was insane. It was it was an insane show last night.
Although I have to say, he really inspired me last night, because I've never seen the level of bravery that it takes to admit that you've seen Monkey Bone multiple times.
Yeah. That was he wore that like a badge of honor. It was
I kid.
so
I don't know. If you like Monkey Bone, that's great.
Yeah.
Power to you.
Brendan Fraser, man. That's what he said.
Yeah.
That's like
it's great.
So good. And then and again, yes, and next week Tuesday, the Rogue goes on sale for the 1/6 scale Rogue. And again, we'll be plugging that next week. We'll be plugging that one pretty hard because I want to make sure everyone gets it because we all need it.
Yeah, and keep an eye out for, I think, Monday more that we put out all the details and everything the day before. So definitely, check all the news sites and socials for Rogue official info on Monday.
Right. Hey, are you allowed to answer this? When does Gambit come back?
Pay attention next week. That's all I can say is,
there it is.
Be ready for anything. Really, is what I have to say about that.
Because you never know.
Have your
anything
money.
Have your money. Yes.
Yeah. Just
have your wallet
on the safe side.
Anything can happen on MondoShop.com.
Keep an emergency fund set aside, and then when a figure drops, you just buy it immediately.
Hey, that's just.
You know what? That's what I did for Rogue. Yeah. I legit put money aside, knowing like I'm not going to be doing the crazy amounts of overtime coming up soon. So I already when that one came out, I was like, okay, so Wolverine cost me this much. Rogue should cost me around the same. So I just put it away early in a little nest egg and be like, that's my Rogue money.
Yeah. And it is like, we try to space the releases per collection so that, if you do want to kind of save up, pull aside, it's a couple months later, before you know it, you're ready when we're ready. So.
That's the key. Responsibility, folks. Yeah. With great income comes great responsibility. I am certain that's exactly how it goes.
Yeah.
Awesome. And Alex, where can they find you?
Check me out on at FanPlastic4, FOUR. Similar to Fantastic Four, that's branding is on point.
Completely coincidental,
Yeah. But yeah, at FanPlastic4 on Instagram, I post all my sculptures and artwork and that sort of thing. So check me out there.
Absolutely, and yes, welcome to the end, Allison. Thank you. So happy Valentine's Day to everybody. Thank you everyone who tuned in and all that other kind of stuff. And we will see you all next week. Good night, Gotham.